it just becomes this horrible storm, and women are like, what happened to me?
What's
And
the
sometimes
remedy?
men. Hmm?
What's the remedy for that?
Well, the remedy is understanding that you can feel like yourself again. And here are the steps I ask every woman going through this to do. Number one, you must make your estrogen replacement decision. I believe that that decision to replace your estrogen must be based on science and not the fear or the myths that are circulating. Though, and I know you've had these conversations, but the Women's Health Initiative study has been largely overturned. Uh, and so every woman is a sentient being with agency, ability to make their own decision, and they should make that decision and not just go on hearsay. So that's number one. Let's make our decision. If you make your decision to do that, which I have done, I replaced my estrogen not for my hot flashes, night sweats, and brain fog. Those go away, frankly. I do it to preserve my bone, my muscle, my brain, and my heart. That's decision number one. Number two, you are never, ever going to feel better until you decide to invest every day in your mobility. And so what is mobility? It is lifting heavy. Women have to put down the mamby-pamby pink weights that we do 20 sets of because we don't want to bulk up. You're never going to bulk up unless you do it purposely. We must lift as heavy as our bones will let us. So for my people, I've simplified it into once you have started enough that you feel comfortable moving your body, we must lift 4 sets of our major muscle groups in compound motion. So push, pull with your upper body, bench press, pull, some kind of pull down. And then for the lower body, it's squats and deadlifts. 4 reps, 4 sets in a progressive manner. You can start with 2 pounds, but I want you to progress up. And then for the accessory lifts that support the big compound lifts, like for instance, for my bench press, I support that with biceps, triceps, lats, delts, 8 reps, 4 sets. Okay, that is the basis of lifting heavy. The other thing we need to do is do our cardiovascular training with 80% base training, which is lower heart rate. I mean, everybody's talking about zone 2. I happen to, in the place where my office is, we have a metabolic lab that was built by Inigo San Martino, who's the guru of zone 2. And so we use his protocol, and that means that I need people to do 60% effort, 3 hours a week, but that's not all. Twice a week, we're going to sprint as hard as we can. And that freaks people out because we're in the Olympic trial. We're in the Olympics right now, and everybody thinks it's supposed to look like that, like track and field trials. What sprinting means is you just work at your maximum 100% effort for short bursts. So 30 seconds, short burst, hard as you can go. And then you recover for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll give you a concrete example. In my life, my base training heart rate, because I have the luxury of measuring it with a lactate threshold, is 130 beats per minute. I achieve that with an incline of 4 to 5 and a speed of about 4.2. And it's a brisk walk. It's almost on the verge of having to jog for 45 minutes. When I'm done with that, because that's good for my cardiovascular base, I punch it up to 11, and I go as hard as I can because I'm not very tall and I don't want to fly off the back of the treadmill. But my heart rate goes up to about 186, and I keep it there for 30 seconds. What that does, that will burn 40% more fat than just even high-intensity interval training, which is done at about 80%. That amount of effort burns 40% more fat. It is stressful enough. It offsets our normal homeostasis enough that it helps stimulate the formation of more muscle stem cells. The muscle perceives that effort. And so that is the working out portion of what we need to do. And then the smart anti-inflammatory nutrition, we need to get rid of simple sugar. We need 1 gram of protein per ideal pound. High quality protein, what does that mean? We need a very high concentration of one of the branched chain amino acids called leucine. Leucine is the most powerful amino acid stimulus of the mTOR muscle building pathway. Leucine is found in highest percentages in whey protein. So you can get it from plant protein, but just in much lower percentages. Whey has about 10% leucine. And we know that's important to nature because mother's milk is mostly whey, which means it has the highest amount of leucine as we're trying to grow muscle in our babies, right? So leucine is high in whey protein, about 10%. In animal protein, any kind of meat is about 8%. And then beans and legumes and plants are about 6.5. So can you get enough protein from plants? Sure, you can. You just got to eat a lot of it like a bull does.
What about fiber? People
Yeah.
are going crazy for fiber at the moment, it seems.
30 grams of fiber. So that just means complex carbs. Your microbiome needs fiber. It is a slower digestion so that we're not causing carb spikes. I'm not wearing it today. It's the first time in about a year I haven't. I am not diabetic, but I have worn a continuous glucose monitor because I am just a data geek. I love my data. I know exactly at this point what foods will spike my glucose and how to keep my glucose steady all day